Hey there, zippity doodah and good day. As you can tell, I'm pretty excited because we're about to do the very first city tour. And you're a lucky bunch to be able to see the first one, especially since this first one is my hometown, Ogden, Utah, one of my favorites. So much so I decided to live here. And so we're going to be going around looking at some of the luxury homes in the market around here, what it'd be like to live up here on the East Bench, some of the bungalows, some of the other markets as we move down, farther down, and some of the fun things to do as well. You know, we had to hit the fun stuff. Go over to 12th Street and 25th Street. Hit the Union Station with the trains. We'll hit it all. We're going to go everywhere today. And right now I'm just sitting in traffic here on Harrison. Harrison here is one of like the main, what do you call it? Thoroughways? Main little ways through Ogden. It's up right here next to Weber State. I'll throw in some footage of the area so you kind of get a feel for it. Weber State here is the college. A lot of commuters go to college. I think it's like one of the #1 commuting colleges. A lot of people don't actually live on campus. They live in the surrounding areas and drive up to Weber State. So they're very used to people who are going back to school like that. So maybe they have a family commuting up here, getting their degree, things like that. I went to Weber State. That's actually where I met my wife. We, by chance, this is a funny story I'll tell you, is I was living out in Layton. I was one of the commuters that was coming into Ogden. My wife, I had met her out in Layton. Well, she wasn't my wife at the time. I met her out in Layton, dated her a bit. Things didn't work out. She went her way. She went over to the dorms here at Weber State. And all of a sudden one day, I had this feeling. I was like, you know what? I really need to go move to the dorms for some reason. Put my application in, got assigned like a floor in a room. I'd kind of forgotten about her at this point. And then first day, bringing my luggage in, all my stuff, and lo and behold, the RA, the student that was kind of over the floor to make sure we didn't act up, was my lovely wife, Stacy. And she said right away, Orson, you better not fall in love with me. You better be over me. This better be a coincidence. It was a coincidence. But I told her, don't worry, we'll just be friends. We're good. Well, lo and behold, I fell in love with her. And that was that. But to start off here, we're going to hit East Bench, one of my favorites. It sits like right alongside the mountainside, so you have all like the hiking trails and everything. If you're from like Colorado, which have all the Rockies too, you live a little farther away from the mountains. You don't get that feel, most places anyways. Here in Ogden, you're right there, right next to the mountains. See those beautiful views, see all the sunsets. It's one of my favorites. In fact, I just got stopped here in traffic. I should watch the road too as I'm driving, which I am. I'm driving safely and responsibly. I got the co-pilot here. Where were we? Oh, we were talking about the mountains here. One of my favorite hiking trails up here is Malin's Trail. It has, not a lot of people know this, it has, what do you call it? Natural spring. There we go. A natural spring right there on the hiking trail. You kind of have to watch for it. And it just comes right out of a rock, a little nice spring. Has some real delicious water. My wife, she's a little bit of a, I want to say a water snob, but she has a particular taste to her water. That kind of happened when she was pregnant with our probably second child. Maybe it was the first one she started being this way. But she wouldn't drink from the spigot anymore, or really the kitchen water. She wouldn't even drink from the kitchen water. So nowadays I have to go down to the spring, not the one on Malin's Peak. I don't hike up there with my jugs. I go down to this one over in North Ogden. It's not too far away, and they have a spring there that runs year round, so you can fill up your jugs, get all the natural water. So we just hit up here in the East Bench. It's kind of laid out in this grid system, really easy to navigate. A lot of people love walking it because it's so easy to get around. I see a lot of people with dogs and families, strollers. Ogden has a ton of parks to go to with the kids, which I appreciate. Get my little young hoodlums or wild things out there and have some of their energy. At one point I was living in an apartment over here, and that's actually how I wound up in Ogden. Is we were living in Kaysville, found black mold in our apartment, and we were pregnant with our first kid. And we told the landlord, we gotta take care of this. You know, pregnant. We don't know how this is gonna affect my wife's health. And he said, it's fine. it's not going to hurt you, whatever, not going to take care of it. So we're out of there. We said, let's find the first place that looks decent and move there. Happened upon this apartment up here. So let me just turn this apartment up here, and just it was good rent and it was safe areas. We were like, done deal. Ended up loving it. So convenient for working. Loved the area. Loved walking around. But what I was saying about pets and dogs is I had a golden retriever, family dog forever. I got him probably when I was 14. Never thought he would live long enough for me to have kids and have him be the family pet. But we were living here, and there was no yard, no nothing. So I had to walk him like 3 or 4 times a day all over the neighborhood. We made so many friends and had such a great time because all these other people were out walking their dogs with their kids, having a blast. It's pretty good weather too. Only downside is we were on a little bit of hill, and he's an old dog, and he struggled going up the hill. So we would have to kind of go down and around, do a little slow grade up for him on those old knees. Okay, so here we go. Again, so this is the church I was talking about. We'll flip around here. There's a lot of these old brick churches around here, especially since we're in Utah, land of steeples and peoples. So here we come out on 24th Street. So Ogden has a lot of bungalow type houses that were built like in the 1940s, 1960s. A little bit older. A lot of them have been updated though. Sometimes you find an original owner. In fact, that was like mine. I think mine was built in 1945. Original owner, and he was definitely a do-it-yourself handyman. Found all sorts of interesting things, like he redid the wiring himself with knob and tube wiring, and had spliced in the new wire with athletic cotton tape. If you believe it or not. Luckily, the place didn't burn down before I bought it. We fixed all that. No more athletic splices. We also found an old bottle of beer that he brewed in the basement. It looked like poison, but it was a cool bottle, so we kept it. We're probably about halfway up the East Bench. You still get a lot of these bungalow type houses, usually two stories with the first entry level, and then the stairs go down for folks. A lot of people have really great patios outside to look at the mountains, have good barbecues. One of my favorite things about the East Bench up here is all the shade trees. That's what you get with these established neighborhoods. It's fantastic. Now, as you get up on the higher parts of the East Bench, it gets a little more wealthy. Basically, as you creep up Harrison, prices go up, especially when you're right alongside the mountainside. And I'd probably say this too about Ogden, because we are in the city, and it can get a little etch-a-sketch in some neighborhoods. But Harrison is really rather safe. Well, everything above Harrison is really rather safe. Let me flip around here so you can kind of see the other side. Rarely have any trouble up this way. And that's why a lot of people desire the East Bench, because it's safe, it's beautiful, and you get to enjoy the city, but also get to enjoy the mountainside living. These houses have a fantastic view of both the mountains, but then we're up a little bit on the ridge, so you get a great view of the valley, especially as you're coming down the hill. Yeah, you kind of see it right there. You can see all the way out there, almost to the Great Salt Lake. As I was saying about bungalow houses here, most of them are about like 2 to 4 bedrooms, 1 to 2 baths. Sometimes you'll have to remodel one. Wow, that's a great looking house right there. Look at all that gardening they've done there. That's what I like too, is oftentimes in these older houses, you have couples or families that have lived here forever and put so much work into it, really made them beautiful. And then when you sell, the next buyer, they get to reap all those benefits, and then they get to add a little bit of extra touches to it. Just look at that. This is a kind of like a feed-off reservoir from Pineview. All this water comes from Pineview, which is just over the mountain, the reservoir there. And it's maybe like, 15 minutes away, 15, 20 minutes. So you can do ice fishing in the winter over there at Pineview. You can do regular fishing. You can do all sorts of things. You can go around the hiking trails and the biking trails around there. They even have some horse trails that you can go off on. Then, of course, you got the boating and tubing. I love this house right here. Someone's remodeling it. It looks beautiful. One of my favorite things is it's on I think it's like 2 acres right here. It has this whole little corner that backs up to the Catholic high school, and they just got this great little property there. And so you have quite a variety, I would say, from like bungalow houses to some of these really large properties or really luxury properties up and around here. Most lots, I mean, an acre to 2 acres, that's kind of large for this area. You're probably looking at more lot sizes, probably on like 0.15 to like 0.20 acres. Not too bad. Deep lots, really deep lots. That's actually one of the reasons we bought our house up over here, because it had a really deep lot. My wife loves the outdoors. She wants to do a lot with it. And so she got this nice deep lot. And she can have a garden. She can have a trampoline for the kiddos. Have a nice little patio area to do fun things on outside. And as you see, this one's Mount Ogden right here, the one we were looking at. And you have these great canyons. They have hiking trails you can go up on. Look at this great one. So this house, it burnt down, like almost to the ground. They bought it. It had some funky wiring, and it burnt down to almost to the ground. And so someone came in and said, you know what, we want a new construction house. And so they built everything new except the one wall, because with that one wall, it was considered an original structure. That's how they got it through the city planning commission really quick. But we are up in the more luxury area. That house is also so great because it does have an ADU like we were talking about, because Ogden says, yep, those are good with us as long as they're a certain distance away from other ADUs. And it also has these big, huge windows that looks up this kind of meeting of the mountains called Malin's Trail, or Taylor's Canyon is right here, but Malin's Peak is right on the side of it. And Malin's Peak is the one with that cute little spring I was telling you about. So we are up more in the luxury area. You have all these kind of scrub oak, like really cool windy trees up around here. And we're actually going to come right up on some of the hiking that we have that goes up to like Malin's Peak and the trails of Taylor Canyon. What's really cool about the mountainside here is you have a trail that runs all along what's called the Bonneville shoreline. It goes from probably North Ogden-ish area. I think maybe go a little bit farther than North Ogden, all the way down to Bountiful, Farmington, Bountiful area. Let me swing back around here. This is the 29th Street trailhead. So it's a really nice long trail. I've known hikers that do the full thing, or bikers. If you're into biking, which I have been at some points, I go in and out of it, depending how ambitious I feel in the summer. I have to show you this. This is the park, Ogden Park here. You have like the tennis courts, which I love tennis. It's fantastic. You know why I love tennis? Because it's all on you. If you fail, it's on you. If you miss the ball, if you do something, it's completely on you. But when you succeed, it's all on you too. I learned tennis from this guy out in North Carolina. I would wake up early morning, like 5 or 6 in the morning, and he would drill me in tennis. And he would whoop my butt. He would absolutely whoop my butt. And he was probably like 60 years old, but he could get around that tennis court like a spring chicken. He was fantastic. He probably still could whoop my butt. I need to get out there and start practicing more. away we go. We are, as I was saying, up in this really nice luxury area of Ogden, Shadow Valley, Upper East Bench, right around Weber State. This is where I was saying you'll find some of the more modern homes. That area where there are some luxury homes around there, a little more dated. Up here are the newer luxury homes, or even the new construction homes. Probably the last 20 years, I would say, is the age of a lot of these houses. And they're going from anywhere, 800,000 up. But you get these bigger lots, you get these great views, you get mountainside living. In fact, let's see. Right across this fence up here is the old Eccles house, which was this big old mansion that the Eccles family, which was a prominent family in Ogden for a long time, they still are. And they built their nice big estate over there. It's on like 10 acres of woodland and has this huge old house on there that's all made of stone and brick. In fact, I believe I posted the video because they actually have it for sale. And I'm good friends with the listing agent, and she gave me a private tour of the place. We did a little bit of a video there, checking it out. So I'll post that again, actually, and you go check that out. You go to see one of these rare mansions, these $3 million houses that hardly anyone gets to see. It might still be for sale at this time. It's been a moment since I checked up on that one. Some of my really good friends live up over here, and she has kids. One of my friends over here, and she tells me how the kids, they just love biking around here. They'll just go off on their adventures, meet up with their buddies. Her house is the party house. It's on this big old, like, I think half an acre. It might be an acre, if I remember right. Acre to half an acre lot. And they just all party there at her house. And or then they go around the neighborhood and do what little kids do. Kind of that living that, you don't hear about too often anymore. That living where kids actually go out and play in the neighborhood. It's a real safe area that way, and you get some fun. I kind of remember that. I had that a little bit out in Plain City, which maybe we'll go out there and do a tour of Plain City sometime. Street lights come on and you say, time to go home. Oh, look right here. He's going to come right past us. We have the Ogden bus line. That's a great public transportation with the Ogden buses. They run for free. They go from like 12th Street down to the train station. And my little girl, she loves riding the bus. She loves going on little adventures on the bus ride. She sees the bus. She says, hey, bus, hey, bus. And they're pretty clean. They run, the bus kind of has a depot or area right at Weber State. So college kids get great transportation out of Weber State. And everyone else around here gets the benefit from it. Stopped here waiting for this light to change. Let me tell you about some things to note about Ogden, some things to be aware of so you don't make some mistakes. First off is Ogden, like I was saying earlier, it is nichey. You have some great areas, some great neighborhoods, especially above Harrison up on the East Bench. You're going to find some great houses up there. Have to be aware of the price. Have to be aware as you get farther up the mountain or more over towards Weber State, prices go up. Rightfully so, because that is a really desirable area. They got some great views and great things to do over there, and so people pay more for it. But you can still find some great things along the East Bench that are reasonably priced. Now, as you go down below Harrison, there's some great neighborhoods still. They're going to be more closer to like 450 and below 300,000. But you have to be careful where you're at because there's some blocks that are still a little bit rough. So you need to know what neighborhoods are good and what neighborhoods you might not want to raise the family in. Now, the other thing you should know about the East Bench, because it is so desirable, it can be hard to find a house that matches what you need. And that's why I kind of offer this off-market perfect home finder service. Is what we do is you tell me your criteria, you tell me exactly what you want, and we'll go pound that area, we'll hunt it down, and we'll find you those off-market houses. We'll hit it heavy with our marketing. I invest my own marketing money into it, thousands of dollars. Me and my team put all our effort and time into finding that perfect place for you, and we get some fantastic responses. Like, you wouldn't believe what we can find for you and the great deals we can work out with doing it off market. Because you know what? Why it's so good is because no one else knows about those places. The best places are sold off market before they even get on to the MLS or whatever. Because great homes to start a family in, or if you're downsizing, this is a great area. Now and again, you get a real big house around here, and a lot of them, as we actually go over to Eccles Street, you have a historic little area with a lot of historic homes, and those ones are big houses down around here. So as I was telling you, really nichey that way. You know, you have areas that are great and fantastic, and you can go a couple blocks, and it's like, you know, now next step down. So you can go from $1 million homes to first time home buyer homes really quick. Because look at these houses right here that we're driving past. Some of them are fantastic and huge. And, you know, actually, I'm going to show you this because me and my wife, we almost tried to buy this place. This is the Van Buren Mansion right here. And they've turned this into apartments. And they've really done a great job remodeling that big old building there. They had these huge lion statues out front, but they were all shattered. Someone had come in and abandoned the place, and some people had come in and trashed it. And this was during COVID. Me and my wife were going to university, and we were just walking around, and we found that big old building, and we tried so hard to find who owned it, to find how to contact them and figure it out, how to purchase it. But here's the thing, is I wasn't an agent. I didn't know how to find records and find who owns it and get information and how to really get someone who isn't interested in selling to sell their place. I didn't have that experience in yet. Now I know the secrets of how to target market someone, or how to find information that no one else can find, to get people interested, to get these off market places really, to put you in an opportunity that no one else really knows about, and put you in a great position. So this is like the main city part of Ogden. This is Washington Boulevard. You got the municipal building right there. This is great because they do a lot of parades down this street. They do a winter parade, which, you know, what in the world? Who's doing a winter parade? Ogden is apparently. They have this big old snowman that goes down the street on a forklift. They have this whole, like, let's have this car move here in a moment. This whole area turns into like a little winter park with these little huts they set up, or buildings they set up with little displays, have all these lights in that little winter village there. It's great. But then they also have Pioneer Days. Oh, before I talk about Pioneer Days, right here, Egyptian Theater. They do great events there. They have like this old movie projector with the organ that they play. They play old movies, or they do events. They're pageants, all sorts of things. But let me show you this part of Ogden. Is we're right around the temple, and right across from the temple, Ogden Temple, that we have this great little ice cream parlor right here. Far's Ice Cream. It's wonderful and delicious. I absolutely love it. My favorite ice cream, one of my favorite ice creams there. And it's not even an ice cream. It's actually a sherbet. They put little pieces of salt in the sherbet, and I don't know what that really does, but it makes it taste so savory and delicious. Oh my goodness, it's something to die for. Man, you're making me hungry for dessert or something like that. But that place is happening. They have a great little atmosphere in there, kind of like an old school, like 30s, 40s, little diner kind of feel. Oh, and we're passing right here is called Da Vinci Academy, private / charter kind of school. Some great education they do there. My wife actually went there for a moment. Did like ballroom dancing, all sorts of things you don't really get to do in public schools. And look at that cool building they get to go learn in. I'd feel real smart and educated if I went to a building like that. Oh, and this right here, this is this indoor rock climbing area. That rock climbing is huge in Utah, because you have all the red rocks down south, you have all the mountains around here to climb on. You have an indoor one right here, and then you have one down at Fat Cats. We're actually going to go over there. We're going to go hit up Fat Cats and show you that area. They have another indoor climbing spot there, which is something I've actually never done. Is that fun? Do people enjoy that? It seems a little crazy to me, climbing up on these crazy rocks, held by a little rope. There's the Daughters of the Pioneers Museum right there. Pioneers are huge here, that pioneer heritage. And that's why we celebrate Pioneer Days, 27th of July, 26th of July. Oh my goodness, my mind is all over the place. Look it up, whatever Pioneer Days is. It's in July, I know that, in the later part. So they do fireworks then too. So Ogden puts on a big fireworks show. So you get fireworks twice in July. Imagine that. It's kind of like Christmas coming twice, except fireworks in America. And this part right here, as soon as this light turns green, don't go on red, go on green. We're going to look at the Raptors Stadium. It's a minor league baseball team, and they are fantastic. They're so fun to see. Tickets are cheap. You get to take the family out. You don't feel bad when the kids are all tired and you got to go because you paid an arm and a leg for the baseball tickets. But they put on a good show here. I love the Raptors. In fact, when I was a little kid, I think my baseball team, we were like kind of sponsored by the Raptors. I'm sure they sponsored all these teams, but I felt really cool. I felt like I had a connection to the big leagues. Oh, look at this. They even got a Raptor out. My goodness, look at that thing. That's awesome. I'm going to tell you a secret that not too many people know about Ogden. And it might put you off to it. We've done this great tour of all these great houses, but this might ruin it for you. I'm just going to say it right out there. Is Ogden, because it's so desirable and it's so convenient for people to work in, and it has this great little vibe of the mountains and the city kind of combo. It can be hard to find the right house for you. It can be hard to find a place that matches what you need in a good price range. And to be honest, it's because people love it so much they don't want to move. And then those that are moving, the houses are very desirable in the area that you get a lot of competition on it. You get a lot of multiple offer situations. And because of that, it drives the prices up, or people, there's only so many houses. They're not like really building houses all the time around here. You have to pick one buyer. So that makes it difficult. It makes it very difficult for folks to find a house that matches what they need, but also is in a good area. And that's why, really, to be honest with you, the best way to find a place that matches what you need and beat the competition is to go off market. The best houses are bought off market. When they go on the MLS, that's realtors saying, hey, I need help selling the place. And that's also when you get everyone looking at all the competition. Best deals and the best houses are sold off market. And that's why I offer what's called a perfect home finder service. Is what we do is we take all the criteria of what matches what you need, how many bedrooms, how many square footage, what you want in a house, what you don't. And we go and invest our time. Why I'm saying we, me and my marketing team, we invest our time and our energy and hit a neighborhood hard. I invest thousands of dollars in off-market research and marketing, and that's what's really the difficulty, because you could do that yourself, really, but it will cost you a couple thousand to do it. But we do that for you, and we get some great results, some fantastic results, properties that nobody knows about, some great situations where you can work on the timeline easy because the seller needs to find their next place. We get you a fantastic house that matches all the criteria of what you want in great areas. And it's casual too, because if things change, if you decide, I don't want to move, or I want to move somewhere else, or if financing doesn't work out for you, that's okay, but you get the secret list of homes that nobody else knows about. There's 2,000 realtors or something like that on the MLS or more, and none of them know about this house for sale. None of them are showing it to their clients. Only you. You're the only one that knows that this house is for sale. Can you see how you can work out a good deal there? Can you see how you can find the best houses that way? It's a great system. I love it. I'm doing one actually right now up here on East Bench, and we're finding some good homes for her. And in fact, because we're starting to come close to finding the house that she wants, we have some excess homes on this list of people who say, yeah, we want to sell, but our buyer can only choose one house to move to. So we have these other homes. And if you just want to hop in on this perfect home finder campaign, because I'm already running it, might as well just jump on it. Why don't you text me perfect home finder, and I'll give you a call and we'll set you up on it and get you out to some of these houses before we have to move on to other things. Because I only have so many spots on my perfect home finder thing, because it takes so much time and money and really just it's the time part. There's only so many hours a day. I only have so many spots to it. So if you ever can hop in on one of these that someone's already done, I've already set them up on, it's great that way. But if I've already ended one and you still are interested in the area, if you've texted me or we talked already, you get priority. You get priority to be the next open spot. You can hop on it and we'll run the full campaign for you. And like I said, it's casual. No obligation to buy. Nothing like that. I'm not ever going to beat you over the head with the stick and say, you told me you're going to buy this house. We're back here kind of where we started, over here next to my first little apartment here. I never, that dream of owning a house was so far out when I moved here into this little apartment. I just, I knew I had to buy a place here. I knew that this was a prime area and that homes here don't last long, that this area is going to pop one day. The bubble's going to explode. And this value has historically, the value has always been on the East Bench, and it's only going up. So when I moved to this little apartment over here and saw what a great area it was for my family and also just my work, just easy access to work, I knew I had to buy a place. And so that's why when our rent went up, which it was crazy because our rent went up to basically the amount of a mortgage, I said, I'm just buying a house. I'm not going to put up with this and renting forever and doing all that. We're buying the place on the East Bench. And we did it the off-market way too. Like I was telling you, it's not something I'm just trying to blow smoke your way and say. It's really the truth. The off-market home search is the way to go. And it's something that hardly anybody does. I, in fact, don't know of like another realtor in the area that's doing the perfect home finder or off-market kind of search that gets the same results even. They're not doing it for one thing, and if they try to do it, they don't get the same results even. We get some fantastic results, and it's because they're afraid. They're afraid to spend their own money. You know why? Because they don't see by spending their marketing money, they can give a better service to their clients, to these buyers, to you basically. They can give a better service to you by spending their money, but they're afraid. Real estate agents, they're holding on so tight to their commissions and their money because they're going from feast to famine. Anyways, I got off on a weird tangent there. I don't even know what we're talking about. We're coming back down here, though, from Harrison. There's a great park right off to my left of me that you can watch fireworks from. We're coming up onto 12th Street here. It's a fantastic area. It goes up to the canyon, goes over to Pineview, like I was telling you about, and hit up all those fun mountain activities. And then as you go down 12th Street, I keep looking over here. I should be looking at you right here, but it's because I'm flipped. So sorry if my eyes are wandering. I got wandering eyes, I guess, today. Don't tell my wife. But we're going down 12th Street here. And there's a lot of shops, a lot of fun things to do, too. You got the gym. I go to the Vasa down there. I guess, oops, don't really stalk me. You can come look at a dad bod trying to get some strength for his kids so you can keep up with him, I guess. But you got some cool places down 12th Street. Apartments again. Here, I'll tell you here, if you aren't to the point of moving to a house or buying a house, here's where you want to look for apartments at. 12th Street, around Washington, those are some great apartments, or around Weber State, there's some great apartments there, affordable ones. They built this great complex, let's see, right over here. Like this really is the place to go for apartments, is this new place they built on 12th Street. They have a pool, you got the views, it's fantastic. If I was still in an apartment, I would want to live over here on the 12th Street apartment. If you go from 12th Street to Monroe, just right over there, you have the Ogden Botanical Gardens, one of my favorite spots in the world, both because I love gardens, I love the flowers there, and they do a fantastic job of taking care of it over there. But that's also the place I proposed to my wife. I know, how romantic of me, proposing to her in the gardens of Ogden.
It was a surprise proposal too. It was fantastic. I think she knew it was coming, but I tricked her a bit. She knew, she got all dressed up and everything for it, and I played it smooth. I acted like we were just going on a date and we're just not doing anything. And then we showed up at the gardens and I proposed. She was mad at me actually. She was punching me in the arm saying, "Why are you just taking me on a date? You're supposed to be proposing." And then we proposed. I'm honestly not drunk or anything like that. I'm just tired. Because we are at sunset time and I'm getting hungry. And we're looking at all these restaurants and my belly's grumbling. But let me tell you something right here, because I'm so hungry. We're going to wrap this up here in a moment. Is we have one of the best grocery stores / little restaurants right off next to Tabasa. It's hard there because you got the workouts and you got the fun restaurants. We have Ocean Mart. I love Ocean Mart. They bring in all sorts of crazy foods and delicious things to eat. I go there to buy my stuff to make my sushi. If you know how to make sushi, look it up. You don't have to make the raw sushi. You can make cooked sushi. It's delicious. I love the sushi. Onigiri, that is delicious. What was I saying? Oh, then they have this new like Asian buffet that they just opened up. Omnaha. Well, I'll put a link or something down below or show you I'll show you some B-roll footage of it. But they have a fantastic buffet they open there. Some delicious food, really good variety. Sometimes, I feel like in Utah, you don't get a whole lot of variety with fast food like you do back east. But it's changing. You're getting some places like this ocean buffet kind of place, where some of these other chain restaurants that were in the south or the northeast coming out here to Utah. And the places they're going are the cities like this. Here's some convenient things here for you too. It's just down here 12th Street. You also got Home Depot real close, and Lowe's too is right around the corner. And so if you know those home repairs, that's what happens is people buy houses, they don't realize what they have to do to maintain those houses. And so you have to run down to Home Depot and make those repairs. I have to go often. It's convenient though. It's convenient if it's close by, because what do? You go to the hardware store and you walk around and you get lost and confused and you forget something. So you have to come back. So if it's nice and close, it doesn't it saves you some time that way. So they say you got a screw loose, right? You go get all your screws there. All right, it's getting late here and we've been going around all over the place. I'm getting hungry. We saw those restaurants, now I'm starving. Oh my goodness. Gotta catch my breath there. I might have to go get me some sushi over there, that Asian buffet I was showing you, or go over to the Union Grill. My goodness, that's some good food. Anyways, thank you for coming around Ogden. I've made up my mind. I've made up that we're going to do another one, because there's so much more I didn't show you. Like the River Walk or the other luxury, like the really nice luxury area that's hidden down this little valley. Yeah, there's a ton. There's a ton to show you about Ogden, like 1,000 things. And I love it. This city's amazing. Obviously, because I live here, I wouldn't be telling you about a city that I didn't think was amazing. Ogden's wonderful. It's come a long way. It's grown so much. The secret's starting to get out, and that's why I'm telling you. Like I'm going to shake you by the lapels here, jump through the screen and grab you by the shirt collar and tell you gotta, if you want to live in a great city in a great area, you got to go now. You got to start looking now, and really you got to hop on that perfect home finder. Like, what are you thinking? Like, for real. I'm already doing the work and putting the money into it. No obligation. If there's nothing you like or you want to go somewhere else, might as well get that secret list. See if there's anything that matches what you want. That's like a no-brainer. Like, duh. Like, palm to the forehead. Just hop on it. Just send me a text. Perfect home finder. And we'll put you on the one that's already running. Anyways, sorry if I offended you there. Oh well. But that's what happens when I start getting hungry, a little bit cranky, I guess. I really do need to go with some food here. Good thing there's a lot of restaurants to hit up. I probably got some good homemade food at home. I didn't even show you. There's this canyon up here. Well, yeah, we've decided it. We're doing another one of these. But thank you for going on this big long tour with me already. We're going to refine it. We're going to get down and be a little bit shorter. And you're going to see some fantastic areas of Utah here. But Ogden is definitely going to be back on the list here soon. In fact, if you like this one and you want to see more of Ogden, make sure you like this video And comment down below what you want to see more of Ogden, or some areas that you want to, what's interest of you, so I can make sure I do that sooner and you get to see the parts you really want to see. Anyways, have a great day. Thanks for going on the story with me.